Liverpool have just defeated Real Madrid 1-0 at Anfield in match week 4 of the UCL. Arne Slot and Liverpool put an end to Real Madrid's unbeaten run in the UCL after that win today, and I am so happy, man. That is the perfect hate watch. Literally the perfect hate watch. The team I was rooting against lost, and that game was great. That is as entertaining a 1-0 as I've seen in a long time. And today, Liverpool, man, I gotta give them credit because they showed me something I had not seen from them all season. We're in November. The season's been going on for a minute now, and I had not seen this Liverpool all year. We know Liverpool invested a lot of money into that squad in the summer, but we hadn't seen them play like this. And today, they played some beautiful football. This is a win that can change your whole season. This was, to me, their biggest game of the season thus far. Yes, they played Arsenal. Yes, they played Man United. But still, this is Real Madrid, a team that historically in the UCL, especially in the knockout rounds, has owned you. I get Liverpool beat them obviously last year in the group phase, but in the knockout rounds, in the finals, obviously when it matters most, Real Madrid has owned this team. So for Liverpool to get this win today against that team who, like I said, has historically owned them over the past couple years in the UCL, that is a huge win, man. That is a huge win for Liverpool. And today, man, Anfield was rocking. Anfield gets a lot of shit for being overrated as a stadium, and the atmosphere is actually not that good. And they're pumping noise, obviously, through the speakers. Those fans were cheering today, man. That was a 12th man that Liverpool had today with that crowd. It was just beautiful. A great UCL night overall. And also today in this video, I forgot to mention, we're going to talk about the PSG Bayern Munich game that actually just ended right now as I'm filming this. It just ended. Bayern Munich won the game 2-1. So we'll talk about that obviously at the end. But right now we're going to focus on the Real Madrid-Liverpool game because, like I said, that is the game I was mostly focused on. Coming into this game, I'll be totally honest, and I hate to admit this, I thought Real Madrid was going to win. I wanted Liverpool to win, of course, but I thought Real Madrid was going to win because coming into this game, the form for both of these teams could not be more different. Real Madrid were coming into this game having beaten obviously Valencia during the weekend 4-0 in a game where all their stars shined. Mbappe scored a brace, Bellingham scored. They played some great football at the Bernabeu. They played some beautiful football over the weekend against Valencia. And then the weekend before, of course, they beat Barcelona at the Bernabeu 2-1, your biggest rivals. And Real Madrid are coming into this game not having lost since September 27th. The one game they lost, obviously, the season against Atletico Madrid at the Metropolitano, where they got beaten 5-2. But Madrid, like I said, for the most part, they were coming into this game on better form because Liverpool, on the other hand, were coming into this game, yes, having beaten Aston Villa on the weekend. I think it was 2-0 or 2-1. I think it was 2-1. No, maybe 2-0. Who gives a fuck? Anyway, they had beaten Aston Villa, of course. But apart from that, they had won 2 games in their last 8. They beat Frankfurt and they beat Villa coming into this game. All the other games they have lost. All the other games they have lost, including a loss in the Community Shield, and not in the Community Shield, in the EFL Cup. They lost 3-2. So I was expecting Madrid to win this game. But like I said, Liverpool really surprised me. In their lineup today, I mean, it was perfect from the start. It was the same lineup I think they started against Aston Villa, the exact same lineup, with obviously Mamardashvili in goal. Then you had Conor Bradley at right back. You had Robertson at left back. Van Dijk and obviously Konate as the 2 center backs. Midfield, Szoboszlai, McAllister, and of course Gravenberch. And then a front 3 of Mohamed Salah on the right. Then obviously you had Ekitike as a striker. And on the left-hand side, who did you have on the left-hand side? Who was the left winger for Liverpool today? I'm blanking on this. I'm sorry. Let me check real quick. I should have had this pulled up. Why am I blanking on this right now? The left winger for Liverpool was... It was Florian Wirtz. I forgot about Florian Wirtz. I'm sorry about that. So Wirtz obviously was playing as a left winger, but he's part of the midfield. Anyway, that was Liverpool's lineup coming into the game. And Real Madrid, in the game, they had one of their best starting 11s. You had Courtois in goal, Carreras at left back, Militao and Housen as the 2 center backs, and you had a right back, Fede Valverde, because obviously Trent is coming back from injury. You couldn't start him the whole 90 minutes, so he came in later in the game, but Fede Valverde started at right back. And then a midfield of Camavinga, Tchouaméni, and of course Jude, and then a front 3 of Arda Güler, Mbappe, and Vinicius Jr. And in the first half, look, I thought it was like a basketball game. Both teams were going kind of back and forth. I thought Liverpool were the better team in the first half for the most part. For the most part, I thought Liverpool dominated in that first half. Madrid had a couple minutes in that, like, kind of mid in that first half, like, in like the 15th, 20th minute range where they were actually keeping the ball fairly well and pressing really well. But apart from that, it was all Liverpool. The clearest chance of the first half was Liverpool's. It was that bad pass from Housen where Wirtz got it and then he passed it to the middle of the box and then Szoboszlai couldn't finish because Courtois made a huge save on it. And there was a couple other Szoboszlai shots that Courtois made a save on. But like I said, that was the Szoboszlai shot that Courtois made a save on with the Wirtz pass was the clearest chance of the game for either team. And then Bellingham for Madrid had a chance where he kind of made some space for himself on the left-hand side of the box and shot. And then obviously Mamardashvili made a great save on. But for the most part, it was all Liverpool. It was all Liverpool. And Madrid couldn't really create anything. Their creativity was not there for the whole game. Not just the first half, for the whole game. They literally, like, it was such a... That right-hand side literally did nothing. Because you're playing Camavinga as, like, a right winger, and then you also have... You have Fede Valverde at right back. You have... There was nothing dynamic going on that right-hand side. It was so still, and Liverpool saw that. So they were just attacking and attacking and attacking that left-hand side because they knew they could do whatever they wanted. And in terms of defensively, they didn't have to worry about the right-hand side. So it gave them so many different options when going forward. So like I said, to me, Liverpool in the first half were the better team. Then the second half comes around, and again, Liverpool were the better team for the most part. Early in the second half, there was a corner for Liverpool, and Courtois made a great save on a Van Dijk shot, and then he made another great save on an Ekitike, on a Van Dijk header, sorry, and then he made another great save on an Ekitike header, and I was just like, bro, no fucking way Courtois is about to pull this shit again. There's no way Courtois is about to do this again. He did it against Madrid and against Liverpool in Paris, in that UCL final in 22, a final that still haunts a lot of Liverpool fans because they could have won that final if it wasn't for Courtois. And today I was thinking, there's no way Courtois is about to bail them out and they're going to get a goal and win this game. I was fully expecting that to happen, but they didn't allow that to happen. And the first goal of the game came from, obviously, Alexis McAllister after a terrible foul by Jude Bellingham right around the box. And Madrid, by the way, today gave away so many free kicks in dangerous areas, but that one came back to bite him in the ass because that's a bad tackle from Jude Bellingham, who had played so well up until that point. I thought he was one of the best players up until that point, Jude Bellingham for Real Madrid. But anyway, Szoboszlai sends in the cross. It's a great cross, and then McAllister with the header. He's alone in the box, one of the shortest guys on the pitch for either team, and he gets the header over all those giants for Liverpool and Real Madrid. I mean, Militao's pretty tall. Housen is a fucking tower. Van Dijk and Konate, none of those guys were able to get their head on it. It was actually McAllister who got his head on it, and he put it into the back of the net. Courtois, that ball's actually right at him, but he can't make a save on it because nobody has reflexes that quick, not even Courtois. So it was a great goal from McAllister, and actually in that play, Bellingham keeps him on. When they were showing the replay of whether it was offside or not, they're showing Camavinga, and they were showing that his shoulder was keeping McAllister onside. But to me, it was Bellingham. If you look at Bellingham, he's keeping him. He's clearly onside. So it was bad from Bellingham there. It was bad from Bellingham. And then after that, I mean, Liverpool just kind of took control of the game. They were keeping the ball. They were playing some great football, and Madrid couldn't do anything. I think Xabi Alonso brought on subs far too late. I mean, you waited until the 67th minute to make your first sub. You waited until the 67th minute in a game where you were drowning. You couldn't do anything. So to me, the game management today from Xabi Alonso was really, really poor because you're drowning in this game and it took you so long to change that right-hand side, which again was providing nothing. And then you finally bring on Rodrigo. And Rodrigo, in the limited time that he has, not having played much this season because he barely gets any minutes, you can't really expect him to make an impact. Now, if you're Rodrigo, you got to take advantage of those opportunities because you don't get many of them. But again, he couldn't really do much in that short period of time that he got. And then obviously he brought on Trent later on. And Trent, man, that's got to be rough. It's got to be rough. Like, you literally are, you grew up in that city. You are... That's your boyhood club. You played at their academy. You came up through the ranks to become the first team right back for Liverpool, and all the trophies you won for them, all the great moments he had, and then to come off and to get out, like they were showing him in the camera every 5 seconds in my broadcast. I don't know about you guys, but in my broadcast they were showing Trent every 5 seconds, and every time when he came out to warm up, they were booing him. When he came into the pitch, they were booing him every time he misplaced a pass. They booed him. It can't be easy, bro. Because when I think about Liverpool, in that golden generation with Jurgen Klopp, where they won the UCL and they won the Premier League, the three guys that come to my mind, the three guys that kind of defied that era for Liverpool to me are Mohamed Salah, Virgil van Dijk, and Trent Alexander-Arnold. And again, he's a boy, like he grew up playing for that team. And to get booed like that, it can't be easy, man. And Trent did not play well when he came on. Overall today, man, I think just Liverpool were the better team. They were the much better team today. The better team won this game. They deserve to win. Honestly, they deserve to win. And I think for Madrid, what you're looking at now is a team that they've played 3 big games this season. Atletico Madrid, they lost. Barcelona, they won. And then today against Liverpool, they lost. And I think against Barcelona, obviously an injury-riddled Barcelona team, not an excuse. They won that game and they were the better team. But against Atletico Madrid and against Liverpool, these teams that are intense and press really well, Madrid kind of looked out of ideas. Like I said, the right-hand side was doing nothing. Mbappe had his worst game of the season. He was really bad today. He was misplacing passes. He couldn't do anything. He literally couldn't do anything. He had that one shot that went wide of the post in the second half from a pass from Vini. But apart from that, he couldn't really do much. I'm looking at Arda Güler, one of his worst games of the season, because again, I don't think he was deployed in the right. I don't think he was given the right instructions to thrive in this game. It was just weird, man. The midfield, there was no creativity because Arda was just not involved at all. I was looking at this Madrid team and I was like, bro, where's the creativity coming from? Because if Arda's not doing it, then who's going to do it? Jude does all this stuff off the ball, and when he's on the ball, he's really, really good, but he doesn't have that. Arda's the creative engine for the team, and when he wasn't clicking with Mbappe, the Madrid attack went to shit. Vini was getting pocketed by Conor Bradley. I think Vini had a couple good moments in the first half, but for the most part, he didn't really do much today. When I look at the midfield, Camavinga was bad. Camavinga was really, really bad. Tchouaméni was a little bit sloppy today as well. And Jude Bellingham, like I said, gave away the foul and kept McAllister on side. But I thought for the most part, he was one of the best players on the pitch. It's definitely one of the best Real Madrid players. So I wasn't like I don't think Jude played a bad game at all. I actually think Jude played a really good game. It's just you make those mistakes and they come back to bite you in the ass. And then in the back line, Carreras actually played well. I thought, Mohamed Salah had a couple moments in that second half where, he kind of got the better of Carreras. But, there was that one chance where he got the better of him, and then Courtois made a double save on his shot and then a Gakpo shot, which Courtois is fucking insane. But anyway, I thought for the most part, Carreras actually held his own fairly well because I don't think Mo had his best game. But then you look at the other guys, man. Militao was good. Courtois was fucking amazing. Let's talk about Courtois here because we gotta just talk about Courtois. This guy has the longest limbs I've ever seen, and his positioning for a goalkeeper is some of the best I've ever seen. He's always in the right place at the right time. He's such a cheat code. He saved Madrid today, man. That game could have been, honestly, 4-0. I'm not exaggerating. This is not me being a hater or a Barca fan, like, shitting on Madrid. That game, I think even the most honest Madrid fan will tell you, that game could have finished 3-0 if it wasn't for Courtois, or 4-0 if it wasn't for Courtois. So they owe Courtois because that was insane what he did today. I mean, the saves that he made from those corners on the Van Dijk header, and then the save he made on the Szoboszlai shot, like I said in the first half, and the Ekitike header, it was crazy, man. He was just on crack. This guy's on crack. But Howson, man, Howson was bad. And Howson started off the season so well. I mean, and especially what really impressed me about Howson, which I saw a lot of Bournemouth, but obviously when we're doing it at Madrid is a different level, is his ability to play out from the back. And today he did none of that. I mean, he was misplacing passes. Like, bro, there was a moment in that second half where he passed the ball literally to the advertisement logos. Like, he just passed it to the side, to the MasterCard thing. You guys know when it shows like MasterCard? He just passed it to that. What was he doing, man? And defensively, he was so poor. So I think Madrid today, I think Courtois played a great game. Obviously an amazing game. Arguably man of the match, because without him, they lose by a lot more. Bellingham, to me, had a good game. Militao had a good game. But apart from that, I don't think any other player can come into that game and actually feel like they played a good game. And Xabi Alonso has to do better, because I'm looking at Endrick and I'm looking at Gonzalo Garcia and they're sitting on the bench and I'm like, bro, you don't utilize them. I mean, you bring in Trent. Yes, he's more of an attacking option than Fede at the right back spot, but he's still not an attacker per se. You got to get bodies forward and actually try and find something. You got to find something that clicks. And I thought maybe chucking in a guy like Endrick into this game would have been a good option for him. But again, he's just sitting on the bench, because Endrick would have brought speed. He would have brought, that kind of dynamicism. Is that the word? I think it is. He would have brought that to the front line that they weren't having, because again, Mbappe was nowhere to be seen. Vini was nowhere to be seen. And so I think that was the biggest issue for Madrid today. Lacking creativity, nothing in the midfield, and defensively, man, at times they looked really, really poor and just out of place. One thing that I really noticed about this Madrid team under Xabi Alonso compared to Ancelotti last year is that defensively their structure is a lot better. We saw it in the El Clasico. But today it was just nowhere to be seen. And there was something about this Madrid team that I didn't feel like they had that inevitability where they were going to score. I mean, usually Madrid in the UCL, when they're losing, you always feel like they're going to equalize or score. And today I didn't feel that. I felt like Liverpool were in control of the game for the most part. Even when Madrid, up like 70th minute onward, Liverpool was just letting Madrid have the ball. Hey, do whatever you want. But I don't think Madrid were threatening at all. So again, for Madrid, it's kind of a reality check of a loss, because again, you came up against a Liverpool team that hadn't been on great form and you lost them. You got thoroughly outplayed by them. So if you're a Madrid fan, you can't be happy with that performance. But again, man, I'm super happy that Liverpool won. I'm very happy that McAllister got that goal. Szoboszlai has been amazing for Liverpool now. Connor Bradley, man, what a performance he had. He pocketed Vini today. He honestly pocketed Vini. Konate and Van Dijk just held Mbappe in check. Both of those guys were great today. Konate, who hasn't had the greatest start to the season, he's been picking up over the past couple weeks. I thought Robertson had a good game as well at left back. But Connor Bradley, to me, deserves his flowers, because today he was simply amazing. Mamardashvili made a couple big saves as well when he needed to. He didn't have to make many saves, but when he needed to, he made a couple big saves, like I said, on that juice shot in the first half on the left-hand side. Coming onto the Liverpool attack and midfield, I thought Szoboszlai, man, he had a couple free kicks where, he forced Courtois to make saves, a couple shots where he forced Courtois to make saves. I've been really impressed with Dominic Szoboszlai this season in his performances. He's been so good. He's such an engine for that team. McAllister gets the goal. He scored against Madrid last season in the league phase, of course, and then he does it again this time. So a great header from McAllister, again, one of the shortest guys on the pitch, and he gets the goal with his head. It was beautiful to see. Gravenberch, a great game. I thought the Liverpool midfield today completely outplayed the Real Madrid midfield. They were getting to the second ball faster. They were moving the ball quicker. I thought the Liverpool midfield today completely outclassed Real Madrid's midfield. And then the front three, Ekitike had a decent game. Didn't score, but I thought he had a decent game. Florian Wirtz wasn't his best game, but I thought he did some good things as well. Got himself into some dangerous positions. But again, you kind of want still you kind of missing that. You're missing that last thing from Wirtz. You know what I mean? Like, you're seeing the potential, you're seeing that he's getting better, but you're missing that, like, you're waiting for it to click. And I don't think it's clicked yet. I don't think it's quite clicked yet for Florian Wirtz. And Mohamed Salah, like I said, had a couple chances towards the end of the game where he could have had a goal, couldn't get a goal, but still, man, I thought he performed decently, but not great. It wasn't a vintage Mohamed Salah game, but again, we haven't really gotten that this season. I mean, we haven't really gotten that. And then, like I said, man, Liverpool get the win. Trent came on and to a bunch of boos every time he misplaced a pass, which was a lot of them, by the way. He misplaced a bunch of passes, he got booed. He definitely felt uncomfortable, man. It can't be easy. These are human beings. Like, we think they're immune to everything. That cannot be easy. That's got to be tough. Honestly, bro. Like, that's got to be really, really tough. So that's my thoughts on that game. Now let's talk about the PSG Bayern Munich game here briefly. First half, Bayern Munich completely dominated the game. I mean, Luis Diaz gets 2 goals, and it could have been 4. If Gnabry doesn't hit the post, it could have been 4. I mean, it really could have been 4. That first goal was a great flick from Harry Kane in behind to Olise. Olise gets into the box. He can't finish. And then Luis Diaz is right there to kind of get the rebound and tuck it away. And then the second goal, again, Luis Diaz, a Marquinhos mistake. He reads it. He takes the ball away from Marquinhos, and then he finishes it past Chevalier. It was a great first half, obviously, from Luis Diaz and from Bayern Munich. But then Luis Diaz gets sent off. You score 2 goals and then you get sent off. Talk about, ruining all the good stuff you did. I mean, you score 2 goals and then you just get that red card on that terrible tackle to Hakimi, by the way. That was a bad tackle. That sent Hakimi out of the game. It sent Hakimi out of the game. And then Luis Diaz, of course, gets a red card because that's a red card offense. Dembele also went off in this game with an injury. And then, obviously, that's not great to see if you're a PSG fan. And then the second half, João Neves got a goal around the 75th minute, but, that was when Bayern Munich were just kind of mostly just trying not to concede and just playing it safe because, again, you're winning 2-0 away from home. You have 10 men. Just don't do anything crazy. Don't do anything stupid. So Bayern Munich get the win against PSG. That is a statement win for Bayern Munich. They've beaten Leverkusen. Obviously, they beat them this weekend. They've beaten Dortmund this season. But that is a statement win for Bayern Munich. And to me, the 2 best teams in the world right now are Bayern Munich and PSG, who both got wins today. Bayern Munich, and Arsenal, who got a win, obviously, earlier. Against Red Star, I think it was. I think it was Red Star. But anyway, or Slavia Prague. It was actually Slavia Prague. Anyway, Arsenal and to me and Bayern Munich look like the 2 best teams. I doubted Vincent Kompany, as you guys know if you've watched this channel for a long time. But I gotta give it up, man. This team is playing some great football. And by the way, it's without Jamal Musiala, who got injured in the Club World Cup against PSG. He's not going to be back for a couple months still. And you're doing all this without Jamal Musiala. And the signings they made, Jonathan Tah, we all thought that was a terrible signing. I thought that was a bad signing, and then he's looking great. Upamecano's looking amazing this season. And then at left wing, Luis Diaz, a guy who was supposed to come to Barca, who Barca wanted to sign, Deco wanted to sign him, and we were all like, no, don't sign him. The way he's playing right now, I mean, I'm happy with Rashford. Don't get it twisted. I'm really, really happy with Marcus Rashford, but still, man. It was like Luis Diaz does some good things and he did some bad things. But yeah, man, I was mostly paying attention to this game in the second half. I thought that game was mostly over. So anyway, that's my thoughts on the UCO, the 2 biggest games today. Tomorrow, of course, is the main course for me because Barca play Club Brugge. And, we're excited for that because hopefully Barca win and then that'd be good days. That'd be happy days. But yeah, man, undefeated teams in the UCO. I think it's Bayern Munich, Inter are still undefeated, and they still have a game to play, of course. And then Arsenal are the only, I'm pretty sure, undefeated teams in the UCL. Apologies if I'm forgetting one, but I'm pretty sure those are the only undefeated teams in the UCL. But yeah, man, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Really excited to see it. For the best graphic piece in the game, check out the final thread. The link is in the description down below. I love every single one of you guys. Thank you so much for the support. Let me know your thoughts about both games in the comment section down below. And I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace out.